Well, I was going to ask Katie a question, but now I'm going to ask her on air. So welcome back, everybody. We are here for another one of your questions about work. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, every day we tackle one question. My name's Roy. I'm a startup investor in the future of work. We often have friends of ours as guests. And so Katie is with us today. And Katie is on a pretty short list of people who are at a single tech company, in her case, Facebook, for 10 years in a variety of roles around public policy and associated areas. And so, and now she runs a group called Anchor Change that's helping advise others on similar things and work at the intersection of public and private. She can tell you more if I mess that up. Katie, did I mess that up?
No, you didn't.
Okay, cool. And she's also, this is one connection we share, is we both have a node of our lives in Wisconsin, which is where my wife is from and where Katie is from. And Katie, if you want, you can tell people about the original context of how we met, the class that you took, but that's for you to share, not for me. But today's question is, how should I think about finding something new if I've been at the same place for a while as you were? And so any wisdom you can share with others, I think would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Roy. I'm excited to talk about this because I've actually been getting a lot of questions from other folks when I announced that I was leaving, of kind of wondering what my own journey was on this. And, you know, I really started thinking, I've always tried to think, every job I've had in my career never existed before. And I've always tried to think about, when thinking about my own career path, around what are the experiences and skill sets that I want to learn that I may not have, ones I want to build upon. And, you know, after I was at Facebook for about a year or two, I knew I wanted to get more international experience, and the company allowed me to start building out these teams internationally and everything. And so I started thinking in 2018 around what a life, maybe there's going to come a point in time where I may need to leave Facebook, and Facebook may not be that home. And it was heart-wrenching. It was like, I was like, I don't know, how would I leave a place where you're having so many fascinating things that are happening, and like a company like that, you know.
I'm going to put the bracket on the fact that my guess is many people get asked that by their friends a lot, given all the attention Facebook's been under, but let's set that aside for a second.
Okay. And it was, you know, and it's really a part of my identity. DC is a place where the first question out of most people's mouths are, where do you work? And then where are you from? Yeah. Around that. And so, you know, it takes, and what I heard from a lot of people, and I agree with this, is that this is a process, and everybody kind of processes it differently, of trying to disassociate yourself. The work that you did is still there. Like, Facebook will always be will be some part of my identity. It is not just the only part of it in terms of moving forward. But, you know, it really was starting to sit with that over time, different changes that happened at the company. But then last year, really putting pen to paper around thinking about what it was that I wanted to do next, and conversations with people within Facebook and outside of Facebook, for me to realize that the time had come for me to try something different, stay in the same topic area, but try to, you know, do some things differently and stretch myself.
And if you could have whispered advice to your past self, I mean, it's so useful to have that experience that you went through, because it sounds like it was what, a 3-year process. Sorry, when did you say you started thinking about it?
Years, about mid-2018.
Yeah, so 3-year process. Any advice you would whisper in your past year?
I think that I would have, that it was going to be okay. That it was going to be okay. Like that, and that it's okay that it takes, to take your time. Yeah. In thinking about it. You know, when you work at a place like Facebook, you're used to moving so fast. And the thing that I also tell people too is that the only thing I can ever guarantee is change, at least at a place like Facebook. You know, the topics you're working on, the problems you're facing, the reorgs, everything's changing internally. And that's okay. And sometimes, you know, that doesn't mean that you did bad work or anything like that. It's just sometimes it doesn't become a fit anymore.
Got it. That makes a ton of sense. And, you know, I'll say the reason we call this is not advice is because in general, none of us really know what somebody else should do. But in your case, I was asking you about something you would have told your past self, which you are uniquely qualified to be able to do. And so that's that for today, everybody. And Katie, I would love to just kind of keep in touch as this all unfolds. I know we will. And, I just think that the example of how central work identity becomes to us, and therefore that there's a tradecraft in sort of unhooking from it so that you can see the rest of the world clearly, is a really big insight. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.